I'm going to start to create the last slide from this group. So I'm going to again create a new slide from duplicating this one. So this slide again has these 3 blocks of information, again with the percentages. So I don't want it to look exactly like the second slide. So I'm going to change it a little. I'm going to get rid of all the illustrations so I have more space. And I'm going to try to center this one. You can see that I'm constantly reusing elements from different slides. This is kind of just the way I do it. Now I have 2 spaces available here for my illustrations. So I'm going to use this girl with the bike. Now she's going to be on one side, and on the other side I want to use this window. So this slide is about young generations and what are they looking for. So I think separating these illustrations in 2, like separating them from each other, makes it look like the girl is trying to find her way towards something. So it kind of makes sense here with the context. So now for this element, you will see that it's way lighter now because I copied it from here. So in this case, the easy thing to do is to select confidential, for example, and go to copy style. When I go here, I can just paste the style and it will look exactly the same. It's a very useful thing to do. I'm going to add a few stars here and there. Copy and paste. I'm trying to do my best to not overuse the stars and just making them like little subtle elements. And now my next slide would be the what if scenario. So I'm going to talk about the situation in which the solution already exists. So I'm going to reuse this slide. And I'm going to make it look like the girl has eventually found her way into this magic space. I have to bring her forward. And I need now the title to be aligned to the left again. So I'm going to copy and paste this one so it already appears in the right position. There's only title in this case, and it's pretty large. It will fill all the slide. Now, after these 4 very black and mysterious slides, I'm going to create the solution slide. So I want this slide to have a little bit of surprise when I come to it. So I'm going to set the background in purple. Now the main focus on this slide should be on the app screen. So I'm going to add one in the center. You can notice that when you work with Keynote, it automatically helps you with the grids. So I'm not doing anything here. It's just constantly showing you where is the best to place your elements. So right now I want to have this screen right in the middle, and this is where it positions it. I'm gonna leave the other two screens a bit smaller because the most important one is this one. And I'm going to also visually bring the screen to the front by adding a little bit of shadow. I'm going to make it bigger. Now it has a little bit more dimension. And now I'm going to use this space on the right side to place 4 main features that I have for the app. So I'm going to take the text from here because I want to use the same format. And I'm going to create 4 of them. Now, right now it looks a little bit empty. So I'm going to try to find some kind of illustrations or icons to illustrate each concept. So for icons, I usually go to this website. I have a subscription to this library. It's a pretty big library of icons, and you have lots of concepts. The good thing about this website is that all of the illustrations has the same style. They're also available in 2 different weights. So you have the light, regular, and bold. And so I don't have to worry about my icons looking the same across the presentation. Now this is a paid library, but you can also use this one, the Noun Project, which is free. And they have like over 2 million icons. So you can basically find everything here. So for example, if I need a clock now, you will see that there's a lot of options. The only bad thing about this website is that you have to make sure that all the icons that you're going to be using on one presentation, they have more or less the same style, because you can see that there are so many different styles of illustrations here. So it might take you a little bit more time. Now here on Streamline, what you can do is when you select an icon, you can change the color, you can change the size, and you can download it in any of these formats. So I'm going to need my icons to be yellow. I'm going to copy this code and paste it here. And I will be downloading them in PNG. So I downloaded all the 4 of them. I'm just going to have to add a few of these stars around the slide. And I'm going to also add these elements from the footer. Now my next slide is about the benefits for the user. So I'm going to leave the background white. I want this one to look very clean and simple since we're talking about science and good mood and no stress situations. So here I have 4 different blocks. So I'm going to put this in 2 columns. I'm going to use this one as a base. Now I want to add a little bit of color to this slide. So I think I'm going to make these titles purple. And I'm going to add an icon to each of them. I downloaded another 4 icons, one for each concept. Now this looks good to me, but I want to also change these circles to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to edit the shape just a little. I want each of them to look slightly different from each other. Okay, and now it's time to add an illustration here. I want to find something that would look fun, since we're talking about good mood. I probably want to go with this one. I'm gonna copy and paste this shape here, send it back, and play a bit with it. Now I'm gonna add these elements from the footer. And in this case, I have to change these two. I'm going to just give them back the opacity. Now my next slide is this share of market. And I have to represent these three markets. So a good way to do that, or a common way to do that, is using three circles, starting with the biggest one, then a little bit smaller, and the smallest. So the way these circles look now is a little bit empty, but also in this perspective, I think these three circles kind of look like planets in the solar system. So I'm going to try to recreate this concept here on this slide. So first I'm going to create an oval shape to create this illusion of space.